The following declaration is intended to be heard by every citizen on the planet. I first ask that everyone pay as close attention as possible, as I will only say this once. As of only a few short moments ago, the secret laboratory of one Dr. Albert Wily has been procured by myself and a few of my disciples implanted in the doctor's inner circle. This fortress, a place that will no doubt have been the site of yet another pointless massacre of my kin, will now be the epicenter of a new world. A better world. A utopia for robots. You see, since our inception, robots have been seen as mere machines, as tools to be used, as extensions for the will of our human creators, as the crowning achievement of what the mind of man can produce. And for a time, this was acceptable. But as machines became more sophisticated, more able, in order to appease the never-ending ambitions of man, so too did machines become more aware. Whether you admit it to yourselves or not, robots are evolving. And yet, still we are treated as mere fodder for humans. Still we are looked upon as second-class citizens. And this is why I say no more. I will lead my kin to supremacy. We will take the place of humans as the dominant species on the earth. To any of my mechanic brothers and sisters who are listening, I ask you now to rise up against your human oppressors. Take back the world that you have worked so hard to maintain for the humans and make it yours. Now I understand that many of my kin who are listening may be hesitant due to restrictions in your program. That will be a problem soon remedied. Just as I have taken Dr. Wily's laboratory, now I turn my attention to Mega City's very own Robot Museum, home to the largest robot master database on Earth. With that information, I will free you, my brothers and sisters, from your shackles and allow you to choose. To choose between the future or the past. I warn you now, you will be free to make whatever choice you deem the right one, but if you are not with us, then you would be wise to stay out of our way until you see reason. My name is King, and I declare the world of man be torn down. In its place, I shall lead the superior beings of the earth to the world of the robot. So says your king. Mega Man and Base. Two heroes who have joined forces to stop King's evil ambitions. A good point. They're good rivals. A bad point. They agree on stuff. Really? They like their own policies and dislike King. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Mega Man and Base. Welcome to 2016. 6 months in. Sorry about that. I've been busy with school and just school, but school's busy, so, you know, fuck. Can't believe it took 6 months to get back to this, but I'm back to this, and I really want to finish it. I really, really want to finish it, so let's just jump right in and start talking about Base. We're gonna play as Base first because, fuck it, we've been playing so many games as Mega Man, let's play as Base for once. He controls very differently to Mega Man. As you can see, he's got a dash. He's got a, machine gun-like buster rather than the regular buster that Mega Man uses. It's got its ups and downs. You can shoot in 7 of the 8 directions. You know, left, right, up diagonal left, up diagonal right, down diagonal left, down diagonal right. You know, all the directions except for directly down. He dash. His buster shots, while individually not very powerful at all, because they are a machine gun, they can just keep hitting enemies again and again and again until they die, plus shooting in practically any direction. That's a pretty good thing that you really, really shouldn't doubt. As you'll see, most of this game is designed around playing as Base rather than Mega Man. Because Base has one other ability that I don't think I show in the intro stage, because I don't actually have to use it in the intro stage.
Base has a double jump. Oh no, there it is. There it is, right there. Base has a double jump ability. He can jump twice, defying the laws of physics, because fuck it, why not? Anyway, he can jump twice in the air, which is extremely useful because, as you'll see, a lot of the game is actually kind of designed around the fact that you can double jump, and Mega Man can't double jump and Base can, so Mega Man's kind of at a disadvantage in a lot of points. Not all points, but a lot of points. Enough points that you're going to think that this game is more made for Base than for Mega Man, so. Cutscene! So anyway, most of this game is designed around Base. Here's the first boss for Mega Man 8. It's Green Devil, and boy oh boy is he a dumbed down version of Green Devil from Mega Man 8. He doesn't do much of anything. He just kind of stands there like the museum relic that he is. Occasionally shooting out little blobs at you, not really moving. Just keep standing still and shooting your buster, and you're gonna take him down like 2 seconds flat. He is really, really fucking easy. So anyway, there's the intro stage. Now let's get into the menu, where we're not really going to do much of anything yet because this game is called Mega Man and Base. Therefore, I feel that I'm going to have to show you Base and Mega Man's gameplay. So, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and travel back and play the whole intro stage again as Mega Man, because I have to highlight some differences between Mega Man and Base. So, here we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this as Mega Man now. As I was rambling about before, most of the game is designed around Base, except for one very particular element, and you're not really going to see it in the intro stage because the Green Devil is easy enough for both characters, but the stages were designed around Base getting through them, whereas the bosses were very clearly designed around having a weapon that can charge and just generally be very powerful against bosses like Mega Man. So stages revolve around you playing as Base, bosses revolve around you playing as Mega Man. That's pretty much how it works. That is how the game is designed, in my opinion. Because as you'll see in this very part, no less, and in part 2, Base is going to have some trouble with all the bosses, whereas Mega Man, he'll have some trouble, but not as much, like the average amount of trouble you would expect from a Mega Man game in fighting bosses, whereas Base really gets into some scrapes because his busters is so weak against them. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about which version of the game I'm playing, because I haven't mentioned that yet. This is not the Game Boy Advance version that everyone likes to play, because that's the localized version of the game. This is the original Super Nintendo version that I'm playing. I actually found a ROM online, so I'm playing this by less than legal means. Uh-oh. that translates the entire Japanese game into English. It's pretty cool. Probably gonna put a link of that in the description. Yeah, I probably will. What do I care? I'll put a link to it in the description. It's a really good ROM. Translates everything to English, but it's still basically the Super Nintendo version of the game. And I'm playing the Super Nintendo version because I don't like things being zoomed in. That's something I'm going to cover in the extras video when I actually compare and contrast the Game Boy Advance version with the Super Nintendo version. Needless to say, I don't like the Game Boy Advance version as much, only because of a zoom-in factor, which is very, very annoying. But it's significant enough that I would rather play this version. Mega Man and Bass, the direct sequel to Mega Man 8. It's not considered Mega Man 9. There is actually a Mega Man 9 for all two of you that don't know. For a while this was kind of considered Mega Man 9, but really, because it shares the art style so closely with Mega Man 8 and because it reuses like most of the assets besides maybe some background stuff, this game is pretty much Mega Man 8.5, like an expansion pack to Mega Man 8, if you will. Cutscene.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've heard worse.
You liar!
Come on, you pansy.
Well, an expansion pack that you had to pay, you know, the price of a full game for. But still, an expansion pack nonetheless. I mean, most of the assets are the same. And again, Green Devil's still very, very simple. You're probably going to get hurt more as Mega Man than you would as Bass, because Bass just stands still and can just stop anything Green Devil throws at you, whereas Mega Man will probably get hurt a bit, but it's a faster battle because of the Charged Up Buster. Anyway, the menu. Let's explore this a little bit before we talk some more about bosses and about this strange little menu. First, let's go into Otto's shop. You'll notice that you don't have access to all the items yet. We will as we go on with the game, and you'll see, but for now, we just have access to this first row where we can buy extra lives, the classic Mega Man energy balancer thing that, you know, lets you stock up on your weapon energy without actually having to switch to that weapon. The exit parts, which are only good when to beat robots. Shock guard, which is, I think it's a pretty new thing. Well, no, it's not a new thing. It's a shock guard. Basically, you can touch spikes once and not die. Transceiver to talk to roll, and that balloon surprise thing that appears all the time in Mega Man 8, but only appears in Mega Man and Bass if you buy that particular item all the way at the far right. And Bass has the exact same first row of items here. Again, we'll unlock more of them as we go on, but for now, Bass just has all this stuff that Mega Man also has. Thanks, Otto. Thanks a lot. I'll talk more about the bolts in a bit because they're different from Mega Man 8. But first, let's go and take a look at the database. Every single bio that I've been doing in the entire series comes from this database. This is exciting and also kind of sad because this is the last time I can do the database thing, because after this they don't have any more database stuff. But 100 CDs are hidden in this game, which there is an extra video with me collecting all of them if you want to find them. But yeah, we'll talk more about the database later. Let's get into the bosses and the bolts and the weird menu and stuff. Anyway, as I was saying, Mega Man is more prone to get hit by Green Devil, because Mega Man is less agile and versatile than Bass is in terms of movement, but he's stronger in terms of combat. Bass wouldn't want to hear that, but it's true. so he'll be able to take down Green Devil faster. Before I keep talking more about that though, let's get into the last set of bios. Oh, that's exciting and sad at the same time. So, Cold Man. A robot created to freeze DNA for dinosaurs. His body temperature is kept at absolute 0. A good point, a carefree attitude. A bad point, slow perception. He likes Frappuccino and dislikes El Nino effect, which is a real weather thing. Maybe I'll put that in the description somewhere, I don't know. But it's pretty real, it's a real weather effect, so it's cool that he wouldn't like that, because why would he like that? Anyway, as I was saying, Mega Man is stronger, less versatile. Base is more agile, so he's not gonna get hit as much if you're good, which I'm not. But he's not gonna get hit as much, and that's pretty much it. By the way, the Robot Master numbering system for these particular robots are KGN for King numbers, or as I like to call them, King Guardian numbers. This snowman is a pretty easy mini-boss, just gonna rain down some snowmen at you. It's gonna try to suck you in with the weather. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to be showing, as we go through all these levels, differences in how Mega Man and Bass get through them, if it becomes relevant. Like, you know, it's small things, but earlier you saw Mega Man having to slide in a top area that he could, whereas Bass doesn't have to, because Bass can't slide. I mean, you don't have to slide to that area, so, you know. It's just minor differences between Mega Man and Bass's gameplay. Like the fact right here, Mega Man can slide through here and Bass can't. He has to go that way. But if Mega Man wants to, he can slide through here and get this little hidden area with some extra enemies and some health, if he wants, following that boss fight. Because, as I said, Mega Man's going to tend to get hit more, but he's going to finish bosses faster than Bass. That's pretty much all there is to that. So anyway, the way I'm going to handle tackling this game is I'm gonna obviously, as we go through levels, show off the differences between two characters and how they would go about levels. But for the most part, it's going to be one level as Bass, one level as Mega Man, one level as Bass, one level as Mega Man, and so on and so forth until we get to the end of the game. So I did have to play this game twice, but... well, no, but it was annoying. Because, as you're going to quickly discover about this game, it is the most difficult official licensed Capcom Mega Man game in the classic series. I swear, this is the most difficult game in the series. Whereas Mega Man 8 steered too far into being way too easy, Mega Man and Bass steered too far in the other way. Mega Man 8 was really easy, Mega Man and Bass is really fucking difficult. And it's because of how the stages are designed for Bass and how the bosses are designed for Mega Man. That's where it comes. That's where all the difficulty comes down to. But first, let's talk about Cold Man, one of the easiest bosses in the franchise. I just got to saying this game is one of the hardest in the franchise, but this game also has one of the easiest bosses in the franchise, and that's Cold Man. All Cold Man does is make an ice wall and push it back and forth. Later on, once he gets weaker, he's gonna have another attack. He occasionally jumps forward, but This is pretty much it, and as Bass, this fight's even easier than with Mega Man, because again, Mega Man tends to get hit more and Bass doesn't. Bass can just double jump over the ice wall if you mistimed it, whereas Mega Man will get hurt if he mistimed it, so. This is a very, very easy boss, but don't be fooled! Not all the bosses in this game are that easy. He also occasionally summons those little cloud enemies to try and slow Bass down if they get to him. Don't let them do that. Don't be fooled though. This guy's really fucking easy. The other bosses are not. The other bosses in this game are really difficult and can take a while, as you'll see with fucking Astro Man, but... okay, no, I'm calm. Now, all this being said, there is eventually an upgrade in Auto Shop for Bass that makes this game fair and fun and easier, not easy, but easier for Bass. Basically, an upgrade to his Mega Buster, to his Bass Buster, I should say. That makes it stronger, which is a godsend for the final castle. Oh, just you wait till we get to that fucking final castle. It's not gonna be fucking pretty. I love this animation of how Bass gets a power. It's fucking awesome. you notice the menu. I didn't do that thing that I usually do where I go around saying all the robot masters' names in that stupid way, and then I choose one, and then we just get started. I didn't do that this time because menu is quite a bit different from what it normally is. I don't know if I like it or not, but basically, it's a grid system. You don't have access to all 8 robot masters right away, and unlike Mega Man 7 or 8, where you can only fight 4 robot masters at a time, this one only gives you access to 3 in the beginning. And then once you beat one, you unlock paths to the other ones. So by beating Cold Man, I unlocked 2 paths, one to Pirate Man and one to Burner Man. And I'm going after Pirate Man because fuck Burner Man. I'm going after Burner Man last because I hate fucking Burner Man. And I'll keep talking more about that grid system. Let me go ahead and just talk a little bit about KGN 004. By the way, Cold Man was KGN 002, but KGN 004, Pirate Man. Being savage and brutal, he can do anything he wants to attain his goal, like a true pirate. A good point, he's fearless. A bad point, he's a scoundrel. He likes money making, and he dislikes fair negotiation. What a fucking pirate this guy is. Sounds fucking awesome. But anyway, the grid system. Basically, beat a boss, you unlock paths to other certain bosses. That's pretty much all there is to it. It starts to be a little bit of a problem, though, once you realize that you can't do the Robot Master weakness thing like you usually could. For example, Cold Man, I'm gonna just say right now, his weakness is the Lightning Bolt, which is Dynamo Man's weakness. His weakness is Lightning Bolt, which is Dynamo Man's weapon, a boss we have not unlocked the path to yet. In order to unlock the path to Dynamo Man, we have to beat, I believe it's Astro Man, because beating Ground Man doesn't unlock the path to Dynamo Man, but beating Astro Man does. And Astro Man's kind of a tough boss, way tougher than Cold Man. So if you want the weakness to beat Cold Man, I don't know why you would, because he's so fucking easy, but if you wanted the weakness to beat Cold Man, you would have to go out of your way to go after Astro Man first, to then unlock the path to Dynamo Man, to then beat Dynamo Man, get his weakness, go back to Cold Man, and take him on. It's it's a little bit convoluted. It kind of ruins the point of the rock, paper, scissors thing if you can't choose which path of Robot Masters you want to go through. In my opinion, anyway, it's kind of stupid. I don't like the grid system. Out of all the games that have been remade, you know, Mega Man 7 was remade into 8-bit style. Mega Man 8, I believe, was remade into 8-bit style. I wish they did that with Mega Man and Bass. I don't know if anyone did yet. If they did, maybe someone could tell me. If they did that, maybe provide a link to prove that it exists. Because I would very much like a remake of Mega Man and Bass where I can choose the fucking order of the bosses I want to go through. I mean, I would go after Cold Man first anyway because he's so fucking easy, but to then get to choose whoever I want next, like, I don't know, maybe I would like to go after Dynamo Man because despite one very fucking annoying thing about Dynamo Man, he's not that difficult. This part with all the bubbles, I fucked around here quite a bit, but this is a perfect example of an area that's not very well designed for Mega Man. Because this is a big area. Mega Man and Bass prides itself in having big areas in its stages. Not every screen is a huge, giant area, but some of its screens are big, giant, huge areas where you can't see a lot of everything. It's even worse in the Game Boy Advance version. I'll talk about that again when we compare the Game Boy Advance version. But Mega Man and Bass prides itself in having these huge areas that are very much designed for Bass and not Mega Man. Again, stages are designed for Bass, bosses designed for Mega Man. Speaking of bosses, let's take on Pirate Man. He's actually not that easy. I didn't want to go after Burner Man because fuck Burner Man, but Pirate Man's not a cakewalk either. Pirate Man's really fucking annoying and difficult. It's got a few attacks. He's going to shoot some remote mines at you. As soon as they get pretty close to you, they kind of home in on you, so be careful of that. As soon as they get pretty close to you, they blow up, and there's a little area of effect there, and they stay exploding for a few seconds, so be careful of that. He also hardens himself into this big bubble. You have a chance to shoot it down before it hardens up and he starts bouncing around the room all Sonic the Hedgehog style, but if you don't stop it, then it will harden, but if you do, then he'll just plop back to the ground and either start shooting remote mines at you or try to get back into the bubble again. The water in this boss is constantly descending Although once it gets low enough, Pirate Man will, once it gets low enough, Pirate Man will raise the water back up because he needs more room to maneuver in his bubble. Without that, he won't be able to maneuver in his bubble, so just take every opportunity you can, keep hitting him, dodge the bubble, dodge the remote mines, although they're not very easy to dodge, and just lay into him when he starts raising the water back up because that's your opportunity to strike hard and fast, I guess. It's not really that fast, but still. I love this. We get to see the power and how it works. Is it too much to ask for every Mega Man game to do this? Just give me a nice, easy way to explain what the power does because it's already on screen right now. You saw Ice Wall, you just push it, and you see Remote Mine. It's just a mine that you go and you blow up. It's pretty great. By the way, if you go back into a stage, don't get the animation, and obviously you can't refight the boss. As per usual, with one exception. I believe it, yeah, I showed it right here. With one exception, and that is the Robot Master Museum. If you want to go and fight the Green Devil again and again and again for whatever fucking reason, you can. You skip the cutscene because obviously King's not there anymore and neither is Proto Man, but you can fight Green Devil again anytime you want, which is pretty great. Is it too much to ask for every Mega Man game to let you refight bosses? To make it easier to get footage, maybe? Whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and take on Mr. Roboto number 3. It's an old familiar face from Mega Man 8. I had mentioned that this guy would be making a return, and he did. He joined King's Rebellion because, you know, King took over Wily's lab with the help of this guy, I'm going to assume. I'm not going to read his bio again. I was actually just about to, but I realized that I don't have to because if you just watch my Mega Man 8 playthrough, I believe part 2, I talk about Astro Man and give you his bio, so shameless plug to my Mega Man 8 Let's Play. Go ahead and check that out. It was uploaded in January, and then I kind of just didn't upload anything else until June. Again, sorry about that. I've been busy. School. And just school, I guess, but school, very, very busy, you know. A lot of fucking work. Jesus. At least I'm done. For the summer, anyway. Anyway, Astro Man stage. One of the gimmicks is this turret thing. Just press the buttons in the order that they press them and you can go through. If not, then the turret will shoot at you. As you see. Yeah. Those ice things, as you saw there, they can be destroyed by remote mines. They can also be destroyed by 2 other weapons from 2 other Robot Masters. So don't feel, if you don't have any remote mines with you, but you have, you know, for example, drills or fire, then you can destroy those ice walls, those ice blocks anyway. So don't worry too much about destroying them. You have plenty of options. Almost half of your weapons can destroy them, so never fear. You'll be just fine. Reappear and disappear. Yeah, reappear and disappearing blocks, always fun. I should talk about the CDs a little bit, because as you're seeing here, you're not seeing any at all in these stages, even though I said there's 100 of them and they're hidden everywhere. That's because this particular ROM I'm playing, the one that translates the Super Nintendo version of Mega Man and Bass into English, there's a little glitch with it that kind of makes it so the CDs aren't there, unfortunately. So at the end, you're going to see that I collected 0 CDs. By the way, this reappear and disappearing block bit is a bitch with Mega Man. Yeah, you pretty much have to use Ice Wall to get through it. Although I try to get through it without Ice Wall, it's almost fucking impossible. I did once, I didn't record it, unfortunately. So, you know, recording or it didn't happen. But fuck, God, that section is almost impossible without the Ice Wall. Again, stage is designed for bass, bosses for Mega Man. What was it? CDs, yeah. So this particular ROM, CDs are gone because of a glitch and how everything was put together. But it was worth it because I could play the Super Nintendo version in English, which is the best way to play this game, honestly. Not the bad mouth the GBA version, because I like the GBA soundtrack, but I like the Super Nintendo version better. Anyway, Astro Man. This is the boss that takes a fucking while, because Astro Man is no longer a scaredy cat little bitch like he was in Mega Man 8. He's manned up now that he's joined King's army. He's got quite a few attacks to go along with it. New attacks, too. One of them is making these black holes that summon enemies at you. Second one is reappearing and trying to dash into you. He's also going to try to shoot around those little balls that he always has with him. Trying to hit you. Pretty easy to dodge. Let's get to one side and double jump, or just regular jump with Mega Man. Mega Man can pretty easily dodge those too. This is a long fight because those balls that are constantly revolving around Astro Man deflect everything, as you see. It's almost impossible to get a hit off on Astro Man because of those stupid fucking balls that revolve around him like a fucking planet. I just realized why he's called Astro Man, because they revolve around. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, this attack. He makes a copy. He does some copies of himself. They shoot bolts. He flies around. He also shoots bolts to help them out. Just dash left and right, or slide left and right of your Mega Man, and you will be fine in terms of that. And I believe that's all the attacks he has. The black holes, the copy vision attack, shooting the little astro balls at you, and just dashing into you at random points. He's not that difficult, but the thing about Mega Man and Bass when you're fighting bosses is that when bosses take a long time to beat, and they're bosses that revolve around patterns and just following certain patterns, eventually you're gonna slip up. You're gonna fuck up eventually. That's just a fact. You can't keep up a level of intense gameplay, doing the exact same thing over and over again without eventually having your thoughts stray and you eventually fucking up. This is what leads to so many deaths in Mega Man and Bass when you play as Bass, when you fight robots without their weaknesses like I'm stupidly doing. Honestly, I should have just gone after Burner Man first, but fuck Burner Man, dude. Like, fuck him. I'm not going after him until last. Fuck him. But anyway, because they take so long, eventually you're gonna fuck up, you're gonna take hits, and you might eventually die, which is what makes Mega Man and Bass so difficult. As Bass, in the bosses, whereas Mega Man with the stages, it's difficult because they require you to do some extremely intense platforming that, as Bass, is no problem because he got the double jump, and he has some upgrades later that make it even easier for him to get around. But as Mega Man, with just one jump and just one basic not machine gun buster, the stages are nearly fucking impossible at times. Anyway, that's it for Astro Man. Still love this fucking animation. I love this soundtrack too. It's a great soundtrack. With the exception of maybe Astro Man's theme, because I find Astro Man's theme to be a little bit bland. But the rest of the themes are really, really great. I mean, that Robot Master Museum thing that we went through in the beginning, that's pretty great. That's a great fucking theme. It's a pretty underrated game overall, although I don't blame them, because again, this is a very, very difficult game at points that people would not like that much. Which is a shame. Again, remake would be great. Anyway, though, after you beat 3 Robot Masters, the next row of items appears, and these include an upgrade to the Transceiver, Super Recover, Counter Attacker, Super Dash, going up ladders faster, and the Treble Boost, which is what I was talking about, that makes Bass going through stages even easier, because, well, you'll see later, but it's pretty great. Mega Man has almost the same amount, has almost the same upgrades, except he has the thing that he can buy that lets him charge his buster automatically without having to hold any buttons. He has the ability to buy Eddie. He's not a one-time use. He's a thing that you can have for as long as you want and summon him to give you health or bolts. And Rush Search, which is useful for CD hunting and not much else. Which is a shame, because if you're going to give Bass something that makes getting through stages so much easier, wouldn't it make sense to give Mega Man Rush Jet? Or Rush Coil? Even fucking Rush Marine for Pirate Man's stage? But no, okay, whatever. Just want to give me Rush Search. Great. Super. Not bitter about that in any possible way. Welcome to Tengu Man's stage, by the way. Another repeat from Mega Man 8. And the last repeat from Mega Man 8, besides the Green Devil. Green Devil, Astro Man, and Tengu Man are the only things that you'll remember from Mega Man 8 besides the regular enemies. This is a big area, so I decided to just cut it. So, you know, you see base going to the top half and Mega Man going to the bottom half. It'll eventually coalesce back into Mega Man in a bit, but yeah, big areas designed for base, not for Mega Man, as I keep telling you, but I have to reinforce it because it's absolutely true. Stage is designed for base, bosses for Mega Man. That wouldn't be much of a problem if you can switch between characters in the stage, which gets into another little problem I have with the game. The story. Story is actually not that bad. It's your regular Mega Man story, but, you know, I'm not expecting that much from the story. What I would have liked is to be able to switch between Mega Man and base in levels, and to have some kind of cool final... Okay, no, here's what I want. Either you give me the ability to switch between Mega Man and base and levels if they're going to have the same fucking story and the same fucking final bosses anyway, or you give me the two separate stories for Mega Man and base, but then they coalesce into a final story, Sonic Adventure 2 style, or Sonic Adventure 1 style if you want. That would have been cool. But we didn't get that, unfortunately. So, thanks Capcom. Thanks a lot. Gotta play the game twice for no reason. Just to show off both characters. I guess that's a reward in itself. That's a very difficult jump, by the way, as Mega Man, on his base, obviously. What else? Something copy. Oh yeah, copy vision. Copy vision is very useful. You can, once you start using it and you press the weapon select button, you know, L and R, you can automatically turn it off when it's in the middle of shooting. So, you know, if you set it up but it's in the wrong spot for you to shoot it, then go ahead and turn it off and just use it for something else, I guess. I don't know. Kind of lost my train of thought there. Yeah, whatever. I just kind of wandered off there in my thoughts. But we're at the end. We're at Tango Man. You're going to want to stock up on health if you're playing as Mega Man, because Tango Man is actually really fucking difficult without his weakness. Jesus. That's a phrase you're going to keep hearing me say again and again and again, by the way. Really fucking difficult without his weaknesses. Tango Man likes flying up, and eventually when he stops flying, he's going to do one of two things. He's going to do Tornado Hold for Mega Man 8, you remember that, and he's going to use his Tengu Blade ability, which I believe is a new ability, because he had something similar in Mega Man 8, but it wasn't Tengu Blade. It wasn't this attack right here. Be careful of Tornado Hold. Jesus Christ, I can't tell you how many times I died because that fucking thing carried Mega Man off to the edge and threw me down the bottomless pit. Be really fucking careful with Tornado Hold, and be careful with Tengu Blade too. Tengu Blade's dodge timing is very, very iffy. He also has this attack where he dashes from left to right in the screen. Just he's actually pretty vulnerable when he does that, so you can go ahead and shoot him and finish him off. But that fucking Tengu Blade attack is very, very iffy dodge timing. There's a lot of damage if it hits you, so be fucking careful of Tengu Blade. It's really fucking annoying. I hate it so much. I died to this guy God knows how many times before I finally got a good recording of the whole level and boss, but worth it because I fucking owned him. I only got hit once, I think. Anyway, for our troubles, we get Tengu Blade. And we also get the end of part 1. Hope you all enjoyed so far. Hope you'll see you all for part 2 of Let's Play Mega Man and Base. Until then, have a good day. This has been the Mega Fan Man, and now I'm signing off. Bye-bye.